I feel like in all my intros today I'm like laughing.
Because you ate my cupcake.
Yes, I'm sorry for eating your cupcake. What's up guys? David Falla here. Welcome to another video. Steph is mad because I ate her cupcake. I'm sorry. Look at her, she's over there. Can you come here? Tell them about me eating your cupcake, please.
He's a cupcake thief.
I didn't know it was your cupcake, I'm sorry. Anyways guys, so today's video, pretty cool video. We're gonna do kind of like a burst fade. We're gonna cut the top a little bit. The sides are gonna be skin, and then we're gonna do the beard, and it's gonna look super fresh. So I can't wait for you guys to see this video. Let's go ahead and start. So the first thing we're going to do, and that applies to every time you're cutting curly hair, you want to make sure that you pick the hair out, just because curly hair, you know, if it's like curled, it's gonna be when you pass the machine, first it's sometimes gonna pull the curl out, and second it's gonna give you an uneven look. So you want to make sure that you know all the hair is picked out, just because it's gonna be way easier for you to cut it. You want to use something like with a comb with white teeth, just because you know how I said you want to be very careful with the curly hair, especially if you pull it hard, you're gonna break the hair. So just keep that in mind. So after you go ahead and do that, then we're gonna start cutting the top. The first thing we're going to do, we're gonna use a number 5 on the top, and we're gonna cut all that the top and the back. We're gonna cut it all even. So once I'm done with the top, I'm gonna start creating my first guideline. My first guideline, I'm gonna create it with the machine with the lever closed. This shape is gonna have, it's gonna be round, like kind of like it goes around the ear. And then once I'm done with that, usually how you can see, I was using the corner to create the shape, just because it makes it easier to use the corner to have more control when you create something round. Here I'm using the machine with a lever open, and when I create a second guide, this guideline is gonna be, I would say maybe a finger width. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start erasing that guide right away. So I'm gonna start closing that lever little by little, using a lot of the corners. So you can see I'm using a lot of corners just to be able to erase that line, just because I said it has like a more round look to it, so it's gonna be a lot easier to use the corners to have more control. This is something I definitely use every time I need to create kind of like a more tighter fade. So here I'm gonna go ahead and create another guide using my one with a lever closed, and then the same thing is gonna be around finger width with this guide. And then you know, usually what I like to do is I with this type of hair, for some reason I like to make sure that once I create a guide, I can erase it right away. I feel like it makes it way easier for me. So here I'm using a half, and the same concept, I'm starting with a lever open, and I'm closing that lever little by little until it's the guide I created is fully erased. So here I'm using a number 3, and that 3 with the lever open is going to connect with a number 5 that I pass on top, just because I'm using like a up and down motion. So I just make sure that I don't go in, right? I just keep it straight, and then it's just gonna connect. So now I'm just down fading. I'm using a number 2 with the lever down, then it went up. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use a half, lever open, then down, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use whatever is left, which is gonna be with the half, just to double check and to kind of retouch whatever needs to be retouched, and I will be done with the fade. So once you're done with the half, I'm going to use my clipper with the lever down first, and then we're going to close it little by little, but we're using a lot of corners so you can see, just to make sure I light up the dark areas. Here I'm using my machine with a number 1.5, but I'm using it with the grain because I want to remove that weight line and then kind of make it like look very nice and very faded, you know, like the top connects with the sides. So here I'm using my trimmer, and with the trimmer I'm going to create my guides exactly where I want my shape up to be. Just make sure you don't push it back. You know, the good thing about hair like this is that you don't need to push it back to make it look nice, because the hair is already dark and it's full, so it looks really nice. Here I use a little bit of hairspray just because I didn't want the hairs from the forehead to move. So like this technique kind of freezes the hairs there, so it makes it so much easier to shape up. And the same thing, I'm just following where the hair grows, and also following the shape of the forehead. It's very important that you don't push it back. How I said, you don't need to, honestly. It depends. I mean, obviously everybody has a different forehead and hairline is completely different, but I try my best to not push back the shape ups if the client doesn't want to, obviously. And just if I had to add color, I have to add like any enhancement just to make this shape up look the way the client wants, that's a different story. I will definitely do that instead of just pushing the hair back. So here we're going to go ahead and apply some shaving product. So in this case, I'm using a shaving gel. Use a foam, whatever you have, but also, you know, use a hot towel if you can. This is a service that we offer at the shop, and we offer it with every haircut. For anybody that wants to up their prices and wants to charge a little bit more, this is a great extra service. Remember that every time you up your prices, there has to be a reason for your clients to pay you more. And it can be just for the same as always, because if not, they're not getting a deal, right? You want to offer something else, and then like that you can up your prices, and your clients won't tell you anything because they know they're getting something out of it. So always keep that in mind. It has to be win-win for everybody, right? So here I'm using a little bit of color enhancement. I'm using just a little bit of dark brown dye. This is gonna last probably, like I would say, like 2 to 3 days. And it's just gonna enhance the shape up, which already looks good. You know, I'm not hiding anything. I'm just enhancing a little bit of what I did already. This is a service that a client likes. This is a service that clients pay a lot of money for. You can actually double your haircuts just by applying this color, and it's a service. It's a service that clients want that super sharp look. And if you're not offering it at your shop, then they're gonna go somewhere and they're gonna find it, because there's a barber out there that is offering it, and that barber is gonna make that money because that's the barber that's offering the service that like some barbers are not. Like in my case, I offer this service, and I have clients that drive an hour and a half just to come get that service, because the barbers are in their neighborhood. They don't want to put color enhancement on clients. So just keep that in mind, guys. It's sometimes like you might not like it or whatever, because I understand, but you should offer a service like this too, just because, like how I said, that clients are willing to pay a lot for it. Like in this case, for example, like you can double your ticket just by offering this service, right? And sometimes it might just take you like an extra 5 minutes, and that's all it is, and you just double your ticket. So just keep that in mind. So here after I apply the color enhancement, I'm using the razor again, and then I use a pencil. I forgot to mention that, sorry. I use a pencil to kind of like outline my shape up, so I knew exactly where it was going to be, just for me to kind of have that guide where I want the color enhancement to be. And then I use a razor just to make sure the color was in the place I want it to be. And how you can see just that contrast and everything, it looks so good. I remember, God bless my hands, used to use this technique a lot. I actually saw him at FitBarber Expo once years ago, probably like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, and he was using this technique of using the pencil, and then on top of it he applied the color enhancement, and I thought it looked super cool. I know Get Beam does it too, and he does super crazy job with the way he does his haircuts. Is super talented. So yeah, those are the two people that I've seen do that technique with the pencil and the color enhancement, and honestly it looks amazing. Clients love that look. They ask for it all the time. So here's the final look, guys. I think it looks super clean, super sharp. The fade, the top, everything looks on point, and that's exactly what the client wanted. So I'm super happy with the result, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, like it, give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.